Good day everyone. Today is the first day of October 2020 and it's just 85 days na lang Christmas na. Sana maganda po ang Christmas natin sa gitna ng pandemic na ito. Welcome po sa Thursday edition ng The Stock Market Today. Meron po tayong pinaka-latest na balita sa inyong paboritong stocks na Double Dragon at San Miguel at ang resulta ng trading. Kasama na rin ang review ng most active stocks ngayong araw dito lamang sa The Stock Market Today. Bago pong lahat, basahin po muna natin ang ating mga reminders. At habang binabasa po natin ito, kung first time niyo po dito sa ating channel, ay nag-start lang po tayo last August at ginagawa ko po ang stock market report araw-araw. Kaya I invite you to subscribe to my channel para tayo laging updated sa mga balita at impormasyon tungkol sa stock market at ang mga active stocks sa merkado. Maraming po salamat. Tignan ngayon po natin ang balita sa ating mga paboritong stocks. Ang unang balita po natin ay tungkol po sa summary ng PSEI yesterday mula sa Inquirer.net. PSEI ends third quarter on a positive note, gains 0.39%. The benchmark Philippine Stock Exchange Index saw a rebound on the last day of September, recovering from yesterday's drop triggered by the World Bank's downgrade of the country's growth outlook for 2020. Nagkaroon pala ng downgrade. Kaya pala bumaba ang ating index. By Wednesday close, the PSEI was up 0.39%. Tingnan nga natin yung reason kung bakit bumaba or tumaas. Philippine shares ended the quarter on a positive note on window dressing. Luis Gerardo Limlingan, Managing Director at Regina Capital Development, said in an advisory note. So, since it's the last day of the quarter, some of the major stocks had an increase in price to window dress on their financial statements. So let's take a look at another news. One news is on Double Dragon. Double Dragon eyes 150% equity growth by 2030. Double Dragon, the property developer, aims to expand its total equity by over 150% to 120 billion in the next decade through income growth and real estate investment trust or REIT offerings. So they will go through the same route as Ayala Land. So this was disclosed by Chairman and CEO Edgar J. Zia II, and he said that the company is putting prime importance on total equity value as its focus is leasing and generating recurring income. Okay, and then they intend to achieve the 120 billion equity goal by accumulation of net income, so mag-iipon sila ng retained earnings, and from the multiple tranches of REIT listing. So their main source of fundraising is their net income and their issuance of REIT or Real Estate Investment Trust. Another news is from San Miguel. San Miguel ay nagpa-fundraising actually. They are replacing their maturing preferred shares by issuing another one. So San Miguel secures regulatory nod for the 20 billion preferred shares offering. Actually, yung mga preferreds ni San Miguel they give very good dividends, and very well, they are regular. If you wanted a regular income stream, then San Miguel preferreds or buying preferreds is a good source of that. So San Miguel Corporation got regulatory approval for their 20 billion preferred share. I think this is the Series J. Okay, under the shelf registration program. Okay, the SEC approved the registration statement of San Miguel to offer 533.33 million shares in a 3-year period. And they priced the shares at 75 pesos each. And this will be used by the company to support infrastructure projects such as the 734 billion Bulacan Airport, the 62.7 billion Metro Rail Transit, and for general corporate purposes. So that's the news on San Miguel. As for the indicative rate, I guess you just have to ask your broker about the indicative rate. But my personal take here is that they give higher than the regular rate. Wala pa akong bad experience kaya San Miguel sa preferred. That's what I can say about this. Okay, and the next is about San Miguel again. Remember that they have this project on Bulacan, the airport, and that needs a franchise from Congress now. So here, Bulacan Airport Franchise Bill set for Senate plenary discussion. So this is under the Committee of GRACEPO, which passed the committee level. The Senate Committee on Public Service adopted House Bill 7507, allowing San Miguel Aerocity to construct and develop and establish and maintain the Bulacan Airport for a 50-year franchise. So this passed the committee level and is now for plenary discussion. The committee is under Senator GRACEPO Llamanzares. Then there's a short item on the Philippine Star. It's about the study on the bank's loan loss provision. Bank's loan loss provisioning to remain high next year. This is a study from Fitch Ratings. Provisioning for bad loans by most banks in the Asia Pacific is expected to remain elevated until next year, with the Philippines booking the highest increase as the economic downturn amid the COVID-19 pandemic continues to strain borrowers' repayment capacity, according to Fitch Ratings. So earlier, BDO took the lead in doing the provisioning on the possible bad loans. Actually, this is a good move by the banks in the expectation that most borrowers wouldn't pay on time or would default on the loans. So what happened here is that the bank recognizes the expense upfront and books an allowance, which is a contra balance sheet account. So the expense is recognized upfront, and this is reflected in the balance sheet as allowance for probable losses. Ang asset account niya is accounts receivable, and the allowance for probable losses is a deduction from the accounts receivable. And this is shown, both accounts are shown in the balance sheet. And the effect there is that it gives the investors a heads up that not all accounts receivables can be collected. Actually, the BSP rule is that the bank should exert all efforts to collect. And if after all those efforts they couldn't collect, then they will apply the allowance for probable losses and they will write off the loan against the allowance for probable losses. It is not anymore against an expense because the expense was already recognized earlier. So ganun po yun sa accounting. That's it for our news, and now let's go to the PSE and how the PSE is doing. The PSEI registered a gain of 80.64 points, or 1.38% from the previous day. So it's a significant increase. Volume was 1.96 billion, valued at 5.34 billion. However, there was still net foreign selling. Tingnan po natin yung summary. So, 81 companies advanced, 108 declined, while 53 remained unchanged. Total trades was 91,049, or 91,490, and there was net foreign selling of 545.80 million. For the indices, all sectors are in the green except for mining, which was down by 56.36 points. The sectors leading the gains or the increase were the financial sector at 1.87%, followed by the services at 1.49%. The financials registered a net foreign buying of 66.64 million. Okay, so let's take a look at the most active stocks. Today we'll be reviewing Ditto, ICT, TEL, MBT, AC, BDO, C, CHP, Now, SMPH, and ALLHC. And if you were watching the market earlier, the most active stocks that figured in today's trading was Ditto and C. Okay, so let's take a look now at Ditto. Ditto ended at 530 or 8.16%, very significant. So there was, well, the candlestick is kind of short, but the wick is very long. That would indicate a very active trading in today's stock market. There was net foreign buying of 3.91 million. And Ditto had been increasing in the past few days, except for yesterday and a few days earlier. And there is volume. Now, let's see. Is this a breakout? Can we consider this a breakout? Okay, according to textbook rules on breakout, Jason comes the trading code. The primary criteria for a breakout is that 1, there should be prior consolidation. 2, there has to be a breakout of resistance of that consolidation. And 3, there has to be a volume spike. Is this true here? Actually, the consolidation came here in this area. And there is a volume spike. And there was this break in the resistance. So the prior resistance was here actually. The nearest resistance was here. So the break-in dito na. No? So I think this is just a continuation of that breakout. So ito yung previous consolidation ni dito. Ito yung previous resistance niya. And it broke another resistance level here. And another here. Yan, ang dami niya na break. And every time there is a long candlestick, there was volume. There was volume here, there was volume here, and there is volume here. So I would say that this is a breakout. The second criteria was it should be in the longest range in the past 10 days or more. 2 is that there is a new 2-month high or price high. And 3, the price closed at the upper 50% of the day's range or better. So I guess one of these candlesticks closed more than 50% except for the last one, which is about less than 50%, mga 45 or 40 lang yata to. But nevertheless, it is a breakout. So let's see the next consolidation. Let's see the next resistance level. Let's increase our time frame to 1 week. Okay, let's remove the other levels muna. The next resistance that I see, the nearest one is here. Ito, 6.35. And the next after that would be here, 709. Okay, take note that there is net foreign buying, and if the stock reached a high of 5.94. So what do I expect from this stock? I think the stock will go higher if volume is sustained. With a long wick here, there might be profit taking in a few days, but still the stock is very strong. Let's take a look at the directional movement index, one of my favorite indicators. Ayan o, ang taas niya 51, almost 52, indicating a strong bullish momentum, no? Kasi a DMI or directional movement index of more than 30 indicates a strong bullish momentum. So it's very strong. So that's what I expect from the stock. It may have some profit taking if the volume doesn't hold, but I think the stock will still move higher in the coming days. However, if you will buy now, I suggest that you have your risk management in place or your stop loss in place because anytime baka mag-profit taking o ma-reach yung peak at bumaba na uli yan. Because as of now, the stock is already at an expensive level. So ingat lang tayo. Kailangan may risk management tayo dito. Okay, so the next stock that we will review is ICT. Okay, ICT had a breakout also. And this is a solid volume plus a solid candlestick. So it increased 4.83% from the previous dose or 5.30 points higher. The next resistance that I see is ito na yung next resistance level na nakikita ko. Here, somewhere here, 125. And after that, it will be 135. Here. Yan yung next resistance level na nakikita ko. It will probably test this area first, 118. Yeah, it might test that level first, but if it breaks that level, then the next resistance will be 125. So let's get back to the 1 day. Yeah, so meron siyang volume. Okay, let's take a look at the next TEL. Another very strong stock. So nag-recover siya today, no? Looks like this is a sign of reversal since there is volume here. If you want to enter, wait for another green candlestick with volume because that will be your confirmation that there is a sign of reversal or what you call the SOR. Because this formation here is called a hammer and it is a sign of reversal. So let's see where the resistance is. Resistance of the stock, the support rather, na-interchange ko siya pero the proper term is support. Ito siya, 1300 yung kanyang support. And the present nearest resistance is I can see is here, 1396 to 1400. So without a catalyst, I expect the stock to move sideways, but there might be an upside if there is volume the following day. Okay, another one. Let's take a look at MBT, another index stock. MBT had another green candlestick here with volume, and with this formation, I expect the stock to move higher in the coming days. It might move sideways a bit, but sa akin kasi ang strong indicator is volume. If there is volume, there is an upside, possible upside to the stock. You see the indicator here, the EMA 20 crossing the EMA 50. That is a bullish indication of a strong trend. Let's check the DMI or the directional movement index. The DMI is 25.46 or almost bullish, no? Pero sa akin, because of this green candlestick here and the volume here, which is above average, I expect the stock to move higher. So, ano yung resistance natin dito? Or support muna. Tingnan natin yung support. Support is here. The nearest support, ito, 36. And the resistance is 39.63. Okay, let's take a look at Ayala Corporation, or AC. The stock symbol is AC. By the way, my indicators are the 20-day exponential moving average represented by the orange line, the 50-day exponential moving average, which is the blue line, and the 100-day exponential moving average, which is the black line. The 20-day is the short-term indicator. The 50-day EMA is the medium term, while the 100-day EMA is our long-term indicator. In addition, we have a complementary indicator here, which is the Relative Strength Index, or RSI. Okay, so Ayala is in the green today with volume. Alam mo, very partial ako pagka ganito yung formation at mayroong volume, kahit maliit lang. I expect the stock to move higher. Although the RSI is below 50, which would indicate a bearish movement, I see the stock moving higher or sideways muna before moving up in the following days. Ngayon, pagka nag-cross ito ng EMA 20, yan. Indication na yan na bullish yung stock. But right now, it's still downtrended. But this is a promising sign that the trend will reverse soon. So the support of ALLHC here, while the nearest resistance I see is here, 706. And the second resistance after that will be here, 719. So if you're doing range trading, you can enter in this area and exit at this area. But you'll have to compute your risk-reward ratio. The ideal ratio is 1:2. 1 for your risk, 2 is for your reward. That is if you are a swing trader or a long-term trader. If you are a day trader, 1:1 pwede na. Okay, next stock is C. Oh, C. Mukhang breakout to. Kaya lang very long yung wick dito. Chelsea Logistics is the logistical arm of dito. Okay, so it had an increase of 12.47% or 0.55 points from the previous day. It's one of the most profitable stocks of the day. So if you were able to enter at 445 and you were able to sell at the 5 area, kumita na kayo ng 12% for one day. Okay, so let's check. So it has been moving up in the past few days, and if you'll see the indicators, yung EMA 20 is pointing up, including the EMA 50 and 100 are also pointing up. But let's see. Because there is volume, I expect the stock to move higher. Although this is a long week here, may tendency siya na magkaroon ng profit taking. But with the volume, sa akin, very strong indicator ng volume eh. So the following day, it might move higher. So I expect the stock to move higher, and the next resistance that I see, and let's move it to a 1 week time frame, para hindi siya noisy. Ito yung nearest resistance niya. 5.69 is the nearest resistance. So it reached as high as 642. And the low 445 yung opening price. So not bad if you were able to buy here. Okay, let's take balik natin sa 1 day. So after C, we have BDO. BDO ended also in the green, but not much. There was just average volume, and like the previous days, it's still moving sideways, sitting at support. Ito yung support niya. Yan, nag-increase lang siya a bit. And the nearest resistance is here, 90. So, kung risk-reward na pag-uusapan, tingin ko kulang pa to eh. Kailangan yung target price mo should be in the 100 area para at least 1:1 or 1.5:1. Kasi ito yung next resistance niya, 93. And before, mataas siya, dito siya. 100, it even reached 113. But itong level na ito, mga kaibigan, is already very cheap. Just take a look yung stock. Ang 52-week high niya is 161. Nasa 87 lang. Almost one half of the price lang siya. And BDO is a leader in the financial sector. Ito, nag-reach na siya ng 161 eh. 160, 162. Nasaan nga siya ngayon? Nasa 187 lang. So, if you're a long-term investor, very cheap pa rin to. Okay, let's go to the next. CHP. Si Cemex Holdings, nag-profit taking siya. There was a breakout here yesterday, but it wasn't sustained, so nag-profit taking siya. And I expect it to move sideways after that. If the volume will hold, then it may move higher, or magkaroon siya ng breakdown. Kaya when you invest in stocks, you will have to have your risk management in place. You call that the stop loss. Okay, the next level of resistance, let's use the 1 week. 1 week time frame. Nasa resistance na to pero next level niya is 1.69. It might test this level, and the next level is here, 2. And speaking of support, the nearest support that I see is here, 115. Balik natin sa 1 day. Minsan kasi hindi ko na ibabalik on 1 day, so nag-a-analyze ako based on 1 week time frame. So I do my analysis based on a 1 day time frame. But I switched to 1 week just to take a look at the chart so it will not be very noisy. So let's, after CEMEC or CHP, let's take a look at Now. Now is another telco company. It registered positive today, or 4.86%. And RSI moved up. But I expect the stock to move sideways. Ito yung support niya. The nearest support is here. And the nearest resistance I see is here. There's not much volume and there was net foreign selling. Maliit lang yung net foreign selling. So sideways ang tingin kong movement po dyan. Then after Now, let's take a look at SMPH. Let's take a look at this. It had another green day from a solid candlestick the previous day. So it moved higher by 2% or 0.60 points. There was volume the previous day, so in the last episode I said that the stock might move higher. And SM is one of the more stable companies. In fact, its holding firm, SM Investment, has the highest market capitalization among the index stocks. Ito yung market cap, 866.38. The market cap is computed by multiplying the outstanding shares times the current price. So 866.38 billion divided by 30, you have your total outstanding shares. So, and there was net foreign buying today. And our last will be ALLHC. ALLHC is an Ayala company. It moved higher again from the previous day. Ang baba niyan before dito, here at 161. So if you were able to buy here and you held on to the stock up to now, so it increased by 1 peso. So for instance, if you bought 10,000 shares, kita nyo 10,000 na on the stock. Of course, less the commissions and fees of the broker. Diba? So that's 1 over 6. Ang kinita nyo is 1 over 1.6. So how many percent is that? 1 divided by 1.6. Kumita kayo ng almost 63%. Mga 60% yan pagka net of commissions and fees. Not bad, di ba? So here, from July, kung bumalik kayo dito, tapos you held on to it and sold it at 270, mga 60% na yun. And sa bangko, magkano lang kinikita na nating interest, di ba? Ano lang yan? T-bills nga, 2% lang . Ang savings, less than 1%. Time deposit, mga 1 to 1.5%. Napakaliit. Ito, 60% in the span of 2 months. So, ano yun, di ba? I suppose more than 100% ang gain nyo on the stock market. Of course, sa stock market kasi, high profits, high rewards, high risk. So, you can lose your share actually if you don't have risk management in the stock market or investing in the stock market. You have to have risk management. Okay, so that's our report for the day. Yan po ang ating report sa stock market, October 1, 2020. It was a crazy day for Dito and C, and 85 days na po na lang Pasko na. Ito po si Benji Chidoro, nagpapaalala, an investment in knowledge pays the best dividend. Magkita-kita po tayo ulit sa next episode. Bye for now.